Greetings, I'm Paul Friedman, founder of the Marriage Foundation. Today's topic is My Christian Marriage is in Trouble. Hi, I'm Paul Friedman, founder of the Marriage Foundation. This topic is an interesting topic. My Christian marriage is in trouble. And it's interesting because it says a lot about your faith. And that's very important. There's an expression that God helps those who help themselves. And I'm a believer in that to a degree. I believe that God helps us help ourselves as well. I also believe that marriage is this amazingly spectacular vehicle that God has given us for a very specific purpose. And you may find this interesting. Now, the reason I'm going to go there with this question is because if you're in trouble with your Christian marriage, it's defining you as having faith in God. But it's also defining that you're struggling in your marriage and subtext, I don't know what to do. So I want to help you do what's necessary. And before you can do something, you need to know, well, what is the purpose of what I'm doing? You know, it's like if you got a car, you know the purpose of the car is to transport you from point A to point B, but you have to learn how to drive it. You have to learn the rules of the road. And you have to understand what that's all about. Same with marriage. And most of us get married in this world, in society, without an understanding of marriage. Hence, even among Christians and Jews and Muslims, doesn't matter, those who have a deep belief in God, they still have the struggles because we're not taught what marriage really is all about. Because it's not the surface stuff like, well, the man is in charge and the woman is this, and all that is almost irrelevant because we're so different. What is relevant is the purpose of marriage. So I'm going to take you in steps with this. First of all, the reason we get married and we desire to be married, and you could say, well, there's a lot of reasons, but there's an underlying reason for us to want to be married. In other words, it's universal. It's for every single person who gets married. And that is we want to be happy. So God put in that desire for us to be happy. And, you know, at the end of the Bible, Jesus says, go in good cheer. Be happy, right? So we want to be happy. But there is a subcontext to that. And that subcontext is by adhering to the highest principles that we're taught, which is to learn to love unconditionally. Now, that's a universal teaching. We should be learning to love unconditionally everyone. But it's a very special pact that we have in our marriage, isn't it so? I call it the sacred space of marriage. It's protected. You see, there's a lot of things that we don't know about marriage. Now, I teach much of this in my books. Mostly, if your marriage is hanging by a thread, then you need to get the online course, because I go into things in a much deeper and step-by-step manner. And what we want is to learn to love unconditionally. And to arrive at that understanding to begin with is a great step in the right direction. Because under that, there's all of these things we have to do, right? In order to learn to love unconditionally. One, we have to learn how to control our mind. The mind is tied to the body, and we're a soul. And you might call that combination the ego, but what happens is because of the drive to survive in the body, we end up being victims of that drive. And so we don't behave in ways that are loving, caring, supportive. Because our first reactions are to take care of me. Well, that's not very Christian. So it's very important to learn how to control our thoughts. To remind ourselves, hey, I'm a soul. I gave my vow to love her, to love him with all my heart, mind, and soul. So if they're behaving recklessly, well, that's not my responsibility. My responsibility is not to teach them or set them straight or to set boundaries, which is what's taught in the world. My responsibility is to love them unconditionally and behave in ways that express that. Now, I already forgot to mention, but I'm going to mention now, please subscribe, please like the video, share it, leave a comment. So when we get married, that's what we're signing up for. That's the Christian way to be married. And I can help you as much as I can. There's so many free videos, there's so many free articles. And then I have a couple of books that I've written. Been doing this for over 25 years. And before this, I was actually, believe it or not, a divorce mediator. And fortunately, in 2001, a couple asked me to help them save their marriage. And so I did a deep dive. I don't believe in Western psychology for marriages. I don't think that it's apropos. And so I created a teaching that is apropos, that is specifically for marriage. And I want you to benefit from it because my mission in life is to see you get happily married, to be happy to the point of where you're floating in love and joy. I'm Paul Friedman, founder of the Marriage Foundation. God bless you and take care.